Congressman Mike Johnson here for a little bit. Hey, Mr. Mike, how are you today?
Hey, guys. Good to hear your voices.
Mike, if they got mean with you, I'm going to be mad.
Were things at your town hall meeting a little contentious once or twice yesterday?
Oh, once or twice. But look, I enjoy those forums. I mean, I would do a town hall every week if we had time for it. I've been doing, cultural war kind of stuff for 20 years, so we're not no stranger to opposition. But look, I thought that the town hall yesterday went about an hour and a half. We had, I think, more than 300 people turn out. It was capacity crowd at the auditorium at BPCC. And thanks to BPCC, by the way, for hosting us and all the law enforcement that were there and everybody, local officials and the rest. But look, I thought it was engaging, a great crowd. About half were opposed to the health care bill that we passed, and about half were in support, and that was the main subject of discussion. But overall, I was really pleased with it.
Were those who hate the president and hate Mike Johnson, hate all things Republican, was it a polite crowd? Like in many instances, and I'm thinking of Senator Cassidy.
Anybody shouting you down?
Trying to keep you from speaking?
No, they really didn't. We didn't really allow it because we scrambled the format so that they actually had chaos training over the weekend on Saturday.
Your people?
No. The opposition, they had protest training sessions. A group from Texas came over, the Indivisible group that you hear about around the country. Their sole purpose is to cause chaos at these things. They came to Shreveport and had a training session for protesters, and they instructed them to get there early and disperse amongst the crowd and follow this certain strategy. We knew about all that, so we scrambled the format so it didn't really play into their hands. And look, I'm open to opposition. I'm open to other voices. I think we need to have a civil dialogue in this country, and a town hall format is a good place to do it. So overall, I was pleased. I actually had a really good time yesterday. And like I say, I want to do a lot more of them. We've done several already, but we're planning to do several more.
When you say you scrambled the format, what'd you say? I'm going to be a Democrat now.
No, not at all. No. I'm never going to bend on my principles. And that was actually one of the questions from the crowd. They said, "Are you going to go with party over principle?" I said, "Listen, anybody here who knows me and knows what I've been doing in my public life for the last 2 decades knows I will always vote principle over party." And I gave them big examples of that just in the last couple of months. And so that got rousing applause from the crowd. And I think it's a frank discussion. And when I say we scrambled the format, what we did was we knew what they were going to do. And so we set it up so that the questions had to be submitted on paper. And I went through every single one of them. I ran out of time at the end, but stayed at the end to do the rest. Everybody got their questions answered, but we did it in a civil manner so there's not everybody screaming at one another, and that's what I think is very productive.
The biggest objection from most on the left at these town hall get-togethers across the country has been to the recently passed, at least in the House, health care bill. What was the biggest question or biggest objection from your opponents that you faced yesterday, and how did you answer?
Well, listen, here's the problem on that bill, and that's why we spent so much time on it yesterday. I brought a PowerPoint, went through, I'm a lawyer, you guys, so I presented the evidence. I want to talk about facts, not emotion and talking points that Chuck Schumer and company are putting out. And when you look at the facts, they're beyond refute. We know that Obamacare is failing the country. We know that premiums are skyrocketing and deductibles as well. More people are losing their insurance. Exactly the opposite of what was promised about Obamacare is what's happened, and so we have to fix the problem. The question is, what's the best way to fix it so that the most people get the health care that they need? And ultimately, how are we going to pay for it? So the AHCA, the American Health Care Act, is a very thoughtful, deliberate approach to fixing this problem, and I laid it out step by step. And so once people are confronted with the actual facts, most of their objections go away. And so the common questions were really, what happens to me under the AHCA? How's it going to affect Medicaid in Louisiana and all the rest? And we just took them through step by step and showed them how it's going to go. And we're going to fix this problem. It's going to be better for the country. And once you look at the facts, it's hard to refute it.
Mike, let me ask you this. Senator Cassidy's been working on his own version. I'm sure you've talked. What are the differences, and can you compare?
Well, he came out with a plan early on, I think back in the February timeframe, that really would have adopted some of the Obamacare fundamental premises, okay, and would have allowed states to maintain Obamacare if they so chose. And it didn't go anywhere very quickly because most people on the Republican side are opposed to those overarching principles.
Isn't he working on another one now, though?
Well, he is, I think, and with some others in the Senate. They've not revealed any of that to us yet.
Okay.
I mean, I talk with him frequently, and we're just encouraging him to adopt many of the principles that we put in to the House side on the AHCA, because I really believe our bill is the best possible approach. It's not perfect, and they can tinker with it and make it better for sure. But I hope they don't go back to the drawing board because A, we don't have time. Obamacare is in a death spiral. And 1/3 of the counties in this country have only one insurer left. We know that in 2018, many, many places in the country will have exactly 0 insurers. The state of Iowa announced last week they'll have no health care coverage at all, no insurance at all available in 2018. 16 counties in Tennessee, the same thing. And it's like a snowball going down a hill now. So we've got to fix it. We don't have time to tinker around with this too long. And I hope that the Senate will adopt the principles that we've sent over to them, fine-tune it, if you will, but don't start from scratch.